Yo, yo, yo. What's going on? It's Thursday, baby. That weekend's coming. What's up, everybody? What it do? What it do? Oh, baby. We got another fantastic day of gaming in front of us. Hope everybody's doing well. We've got day 3 of Shadows over Loathing to dive into. Not before we do video gaming news, you know what I mean? So, we're gonna have to dive in there and see what the industry has in store for us today. We've got a few things community members have pointed out for us that we've already got to get to talk about. Wick, what's up, buddy? One of them is got me pretty excited, and is actually from our buddy Wick here, our mod, resident troll lord and smoothie slinger, the man, the myth, the legend, Wick, has introduced me to a game that I'm really excited about, and I'm not gonna lie, I am probably gonna delay Metroid Prime Remastered so I can dive into this game. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. We'll pull it up and we'll talk about it. So the play is probably going to be to delay Metroid Prime Remastered and maybe play it directly after Tears of the Kingdom instead of directly before, because I really want to play this game that Wick introduced me to last night. I didn't even hear that anything about this game ever, and yeah, so we'll take a look at it this morning. Wick's out in the field getting getting gritty, dude. Getting gritty out in the trenches, dude. Digging out the video gaming news for us. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Live from the trenches, baby. Yeah, out there doing the real work. You know what I mean? Out there doing the real work. Really getting dirty. And pulling the those diamonds out of the you know, out of the for the video gaming news stuff, you know. It's where it's at. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead doing the people's way. That's right, dude. That's right. Let's go ahead and do what we do, man. Let's dive in here and let's take a look at what we got for the day, okay? Let's do this. First and foremost, we've got, this is what we're listening to this morning. Crypt of the Necrodancer vibes, rhythm-based adventure RPG game, if you're not familiar. And it's renowned to be a very good rhythm-based game. So if you're into those kinds of jams, you should check this out. And the soundtrack's dope. And huge. Soundtrack's massive, so go check it out, alright? We'll go ahead and kill that music and we'll get into the news stuff here. Let's go. Let's do this. Solid. So, we already have an article up. We've got an article up brought to our attention yesterday by our buddy Casual Gamer. Upcoming MMO Chrono Odyssey, first gameplay trailer. This is something that I don't even remember whether I knew anything about this really, but I think it's been pretty hush on the front of this, and this is not a developer I'm familiar with either, but we're gonna take a look at this today and see what's up. It was announced back in 2020, obviously, as you can see here. Being pretty quiet since then, but apparently yesterday we got gameplay trailer stuff, so we'll take a look at that, as well as talking about a game that our buddy Wick here has shown me that we're probably going to be playing after Shadows, because I gotta get in it. So we'll bring that up. We'll get all of our articles ready first, and then we'll look at the game that Wick brought to my attention, and we'll slide into all the articles we find. Okay. Let's go. Well, I mean, appropriate. Get $125 worth of rhythm games for $16. Cool. we'll take a look at that, see what we can get there. Final Fantasy 16 has been banned in Saudi Arabia. I think this is an important thing to talk about here, and what's really going to be important is why. Why has it been banned? Why has this been banned? And I have a feeling that this might get us talking about why. If you're not familiar, Saudi Arabia has been heavily invested as a country, right? As a country, Saudi Arabia has been heavily invested in the gaming industry over the past few years. They outright own SNK. They've invested. They own like basically 10% of Nintendo at this point. There are a lot of other big name companies that they've been heavily invested in. I think Ubisoft might be one of them. I don't know. There's a lot, and we might see in that article. We can pull it up, either one. But you're talking about a country that, is well known for persecution of certain demographics of people and things like that. And we've talked before about why that's concerning with them buying into heavily the video gaming industry and what it could potentially lead to as far as pushing their country's ruling thoughts on that kind of thing into our media and the world we love of video games and stuff like that. But I mean, I think this is probably has to do with, there are things within the game of Final Fantasy 16 that they don't want people in their country to be exposed to. And we'll find out. I could be wrong, but we'll find out. But I believe that's probably what it is. Xbox Big Summer Game Showcase set for June 11th. Yeah. This is basically all big developers, publishers. More dates are coming out. We're about a month away. And it's what I will probably start doing, because we watch a lot of these in this channel. I will start getting a list together towards the end of the month, probably as soon as we are finished with the 2-year anniversary stream. I will get a list put together of all the upcoming showcases for June and the dates, the dates and times they're happening. I'll get a Google Doc put together. That way everybody knows when they can tune in here and watch them here in the community, because we watch as many as possible live. If they happen outside of our live times, then we usually watch the VOD the next day in between, video gaming news and doing gaming stuff. So I'll have all that laid out for everybody. But I mean, this is not we kind of knew this was going to be the case. All these big developers and publishers do their showcases first through second week of June, and then we get a few more in like July and a few more in August, but most of it's in June. We know we're going to be getting a ton of information there too. F123 confirmed release date of June 16th. We'll pull that up. Fortnite's now available on Luna. I love it. It's finally happened after 4 years. After 4 years of E3, well, 4 years now of E3 not taking place, we finally have major video game outlets saying not E3 2023 schedule. I love it. For years now, they still refer to the summer showcases as E3 whenever it really hasn't been part of E3 at all, because E3 hasn't happened. And I love this. Fantastic. GameSpot, great job. Great. This is one of those things that's really irked me over the past few years. Articles, outlets, authors keep referring to the summer showcase stuff as E3 when it had nothing to do with E3. It drove me crazy. But like I said, schedules are coming out, but we're still like a month away. So some stuff could change a little bit. As we approach the 1st of June, we will really start locking down that schedule. I will make sure everybody's aware when all these showcases are happening and when we're going to watch them here in the channel together, okay? Uh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, Xbox is struggling to find its big hits for sure. They need Starfield to do really well. I've talked about this here lately. I mean, you know, they've had Hi-Fi Rush. That's about the only real notable release they've had, and over I mean that I can think of anyways. Off the top of my head, Hi-Fi Rush is only the really only notable release I can think of late that they've had. And I mean, one of the things I've talked about a lot that sets apart Game Pass as a subscription service from something like PlayStation Plus is their dropping day one releases on that subscription service. PlayStation doesn't do that, right? So that's one of those things I've talked about a lot. When you talk about these subscription services and the things that really set them apart, that's one of those big things. Yeah. Xbox gives you day one releases on Game Pass. That's a big drive for that platform. And it sets them apart significantly, in my opinion, from something like Sony's and PlayStation's PS Plus. But if they are not having good, notable, proprietary first party releases for their platform, their console, and of course PC, because that's what they do, right? That nobody cares about, then it doesn't really matter, does it? That they're releasing those day one. So, I mean, um, they need to have titles that people are really interested in to make that a notable thing. So I don't know. They're struggling right now for those first party titles, no doubt about it. Enshrouded officially revealed by Keen Games. Let's take a look. Go Ukraine, dude. War sucks. War sucks. It's terrible. Yep. Look, man, I've talked enough about this. I'm not going to bring this up. I've talked enough about it. If you want some Star Wars games, from very old to even pretty recent games, um, or anything Star Wars, really. I mean, it's today's the day, May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. It's Star Wars Day, right? So if you're in the market for sales for cheap Star Wars entertainment, video games, movies, shows, anything really that has to do with Star Wars, you can get sales right now. You need to just go search for it. You need to go find it. And we've talked a lot about it leading up to this day, so I'm not going to dive into it today. I've done quite a bit of informing people up to this point, and now it's really on you. Whatever platform you want to get your entertainment on, you need to do the work. You need to go look, see what you want. But what I will say is that recommendation: go get Knights of the Old Republic, the original. That's my recommendation. You can usually find it right now for really cheap. It's an older game. Be ready for that. But if you're into RPGs and a game that is a very well driven narrative game, choices matter. It lets you choose whether you want to side closer to the dark or the Sith side of things, or the Jedi or light side of things. That game lets you do that. It is a very renowned game, not only in the Star Wars universe. It's highly regarded, almost all the time as the GOAT of Star Wars games, the greatest of all time of Star Wars games, but just across the gaming history as a very notable game. And if you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. It is old at this point. It's like 20, maybe 20 plus now years old, but it's still totally worth playing, in my opinion. We talked about this yesterday, so I'm not going to dive into this either. Xbox Game Pass losing 6 more games this month. Talked about it yesterday. Go look at yesterday's news segment if you're interested. League of Legends spinoff Convergence will release, what, this month? Okay. I'll take a look, see what that is. New trailer released for retro-inspired VR game Pixel Ripped. I think we've seen this. Yeah. Yeah, this looks kind of wild, man. Yeah, this looks pretty cool, actually. Hmm. What is this? Hmm. Kotaku Australia. Interesting. Hmm. That could be cool for anybody interested. Multimedia reporter. They're looking for a multimedia reporter for Kotaku Australia. Yo, random time. If anybody's been is interested in like this, oh, look at that, dude, perfect. Looking for an entry into the this kind of stuff we do all the time. We're always diving into these articles of video gaming news and things like that. If anybody is like into that kind of stuff and you're trying to get to Australia or you're even live there already, Kotaku's got a branch there. They're looking for some help apparently. So there you go. Take a look at that. Prime gaming games from May now available. Let's make sure we know exactly what all those are. Davey, what's up, my friend? How are you, buddy? Happy Thursday, dude. Warzone's gonna get a ranked beta in season 3. Wait, what? Wait, what? Discord's eliminating the discriminator numbers from usernames? There's a downside? We'll probably take a look at that. Discord's a huge thing in the gaming community, so we'll take a look at that and see what that's gonna do. Thanks, buddy. Oh, For the King 2 announced a Steam beta. Dude, sick. People love that game. I've played a little bit of it. Not when I was streaming. Before I started streaming, I played a little bit of that game. You think something's wrong in the game? What would give you that idea, dude? Whatever would give you that idea, bro? Yeah. Look, I'm not going to dive into this article, but publishers reveal how expensive games are to make. I mean, it doesn't. I've talked about this. We've found out recently how much a lot of these. It's not like we're, it's not like us as the consumers are the ones that are telling them, yo, you need to be spending $1 billion on your highest AAA games, your biggest AAA games. That's not, we're not the ones doing that. I do agree that as we've moved forward with gaming development, there's been a higher expectations of bigger games and things like that. But I mean, here's the part of the thing is, I think a lot of what has driven these budgets are these big AAA companies themselves. You know, they're really the ones that are pushing these budgets higher, and then they go, we need to raise prices of things so that we have more money for the bigger budgets. But it's not like they're spending all of this budget on the development of the game itself. They are putting almost half, if not half, or maybe even more sometimes, of that budget into just the marketing of these games. Right? So it's not like the games, all the budget for the games themselves, and they want to talk about how expensive they are to make. And I get it, a lot of times games, to an extent, do need a bit of a marketing plan to hype it. But there's an issue with that too, and we've seen it time and time again, where the marketing is all they really care about. If they can market it enough to get people to buy into it enough to be successful, the quality of the game doesn't matter to them, and that's a huge issue. Look, man, I've been talking about that a lot here lately, and you've been here long enough, man. You know the way I address a lot of this stuff. Like, I don't do a whole lot of pre-ordering. I don't do a whole lot of day one buys and stuff. I've done a few of them, and but the reason I don't do a lot of it anymore is because I've been I've been bitten by it too often in the past, and obviously, this continues to happen because enough people are buying into it. But I'll tell you what, I have been really relieved at some of the comments I've been receiving on some of the news clips that I've been putting up on YouTube here lately. Because what I've started doing is I've been taking some of the more pertinent, more important things out of the news segments here lately and putting them up on YouTube, as opposed to just the entire news segments, which is what I used to do. Right. And so a lot of what I'm hearing people talk about are the same sentiments that, I talk about all the time with, people shouldn't be pre-ordering these games. People shouldn't be buying these day one. People should be waiting, especially when these games have really bad indicators that there could be something potentially, or has been something wrong in the development process for a while. And the bad trends in the industry, and these particular companies and developers that have shown historically that they don't do a good job. And, I've seen a lot of comments about people going, why would I continue to buy into this stuff? I haven't bought into it for years now, and things like that. And that's actually really, really refreshing to hear from people, because we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be buying into that. So I don't know, man. I agree. I agree with you totally, man. I mean, quite often it's not like, again, I think that there's still big AAA developers out there doing good work. I put a video out recently about I think Tango does a good job. I think Tango is a prime example of a company that still has their eyes on making quality content, and they're not blinded by greed, But they're few and far between, And so it's a plague on the industry right now, man. It really is. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing that we have to deal with on the constant. Oh, yeah? Really? Oh, yeah, that sucks, dude. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I mean, like again, like the past two games that I bought on release or pre-ordered, they both were terrible. You know, talking about one second. Talking about Scorn, this past Scaretober, you know, I'd been anticipating Scorn for a long time, and was severely disappointed by that game. And it wasn't even it wasn't even the performance of the game was fine. It was just very very lackluster in content. The game was just bleh, pretty bad. And then Hogwarts Legacy, you know, Hogwarts Legacy. Well, actually, the past three, Elden Ring. Elden Ring felt terrible on PC on release, and then Scorn. So from last February was Elden Ring, then Scorn in October, last October, and then this year was Hogwarts Legacy, and they all had issues. Hogwarts Legacy and Elden Ring were both so very similar. Playing Hogwarts Legacy actually reminded me so much of Elden Ring on release, like a console game that got ported to PC and was just severely unoptimized. Uh, significant significant performance issues. No actual um, aim at trying to develop the game at all for the PC platform or anything, and it just felt terrible. So yeah, I mean, you know, part of the thing I talk about though is like for me and in what I do, I almost, you know, sometimes I feel a bit obligated from time to time for these games that people are really hyped about to play, especially whenever it's in our community. If I know there are a lot of people that are really hyped up about the game in our community, I feel a bit obligated to play the games on release, so I can tell people what how I feel about it and whether I think it's like worth their money or not. You know, so to an extent, that's kind of why I still do it. If it wasn't for that, I absolutely wouldn't. I would just sit back, but I still advise people all the time on certain games like Redfall. I was like, I don't expect much out of Redfall at all. My advice to people was like, sit back and wait on reviews. Wait and see what the game has to offer. I do that all the time now. You know, it's like there are just a lot of titles that I see through the later stages of development that appear to have significant issues, and it makes more sense for people to just hold off, wait until you see what the game's going to perform like, what people are going to say about the game content wise before you make a decision whether it's worth your money or not, right? But I agree, dude. It's a rough world for us right now in gaming, no doubt about it. Yeah, yep, we know. Yep, know about that. Yep. Don't even get me started on the whole Disney owning Star Wars thing. Anyways, okay, so across all media, dude, I'm just not a fan of Star Wars anymore at all. Really, I know a lot of people love a lot of the stuff that's come about, especially like Mandalorian, stuff like that. I don't see it. It does not appeal to me, man. I don't. It's just not there for me. But the video game industry headed for a crash. AAA side of it is, I think. I think a big portion of the AAA side of it is. I mean, we already see a big developers that are struggling and having issues. Ubisoft, you know, it's yeah, I think it's finally taking a turn. Yeah, you too, Davey. Thanks, buddy. I think it's finally taking a turn. Have a good one, buddy. Be safe. I feel like it was like kind of inevitable. A lot of the stuff I talk about all the time, like a lot of stuff I was just talking about. Eventually, those kinds of things where these big, massive I don't think the entire video game industry is going to crash. There are still good companies out there that deservedly so will stay afloat and make money because they know how to balance business with quality. And but those businesses that don't know how to do that, that are just trying to get by with scummy stuff, basically hyping up trash games, and people are starting to see through that. They've been seeing through it for a long time, but I think there's more and more turnover on that side where people aren't buying into it. It's leading to they want bigger budgets for bigger games that are bigger piles of trash, and now people aren't buying into it as much, and so it's just a bigger loss. And that's bad for those companies, and I would say that's good. It's good for those bad companies to be losing out big. They should be losing out big. It's not acceptable. It shouldn't be. Again, I put this out in a video yesterday. It shouldn't be. In my opinion, it shouldn't really be legal for a company to produce a product that is not meeting the quality. If it's not performing quality wise, if it's broken, if the product's broken, you should get a refund if you want it. Doesn't matter what platform you own it on. You should get a refund from the manufacturer of that product. It's trash. And ultimately, at the same time, if the content, and this is a harder thing to discern and be able to prove, but at the same time, if a game gets marketed very heavily and it's not following through with the kinds of content that they were marketing it to have, if it's not following through with that, I feel the same way about that. It's just as bad. It's just as bad. It's a big marketing, ploy to hype people up and then not follow through on that side of things too. It's a harder thing to really prove, but it's still just as gross in my opinion. GTA 6 reportedly going to be the most expensive video game ever made. That's not surprising to me. What are we? What are we right now? Dude, we're not very many days away from Tears of the Kingdom. How many days are we now? I'm sure Cash will come let us know very soon. How many days are we talking? It's on the 12th, right? Is that right? Yeah, it should be the 12th. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's on the 12th. So eight days away? Just over a week? Be here very soon. Very soon. And I mean, I think I've had a lot of people go, man, I hope Tears of the Kingdom's not bad. Hope Tears of the Kingdom's not bad. I really don't expect it to be. Performance-wise, I think I've heard a lot of people kind of worrying about Tears of the Kingdom performance-wise. This is the result of what we deal with in the industry right now too. There's so many bad releases, and I mean, dude, the beginning of this year has just been one after the other. So people are just really on edge right now about how it's like we can't get hardly anything good to release. There have been a few, but most big name games that have released have been pretty bad. So people are like, God, I hope Tears of the Kingdom's going to be okay. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. I don't think people should worry that much. I think the biggest worry for Tears of the Kingdom is the same thing about Breath of the Wild. This is a massive game on old hardware, so I think obviously people know that on that hardware. I mean, the frames are going to be an issue inherently. It's going to be a low locked frame rate anyways because the Switch is old. The content in the game would be good. I think for the most part it'll perform very well, but you'll have those issues of certain areas in the game where it'll tank frame wise, just like Breath of the Wild did. I truly believe that it'll be the same case. There'll be certain areas, city like the villages and stuff, where they just won't be able to get it to work super well. I don't think it'll be really bad performance wise though. There'll just be certain areas you might have to just kind of trudge through a little bit, probably. Redfall is a prime example of a good Xbox Game Pass title. We got to read that. I'm just going to say right off. I don't know what they're going to say in this article. I'm going to say right now, I disagree. I would say Redfall is a prime example of a bad video game. It doesn't matter what platform it's on. It's a prime example of a bad video game. From what I understand, I haven't played it, so from experience, I can't tell you for a fact. But everything I know about it so far is it's just a bad game. Xbox reportedly not involved with Redfall's development. Okay. Is Arcane? We'll look that up. We'll look that up when we hit this article. Who is Arcane? Is Arcane under Microsoft? I'm pretty sure, right? I mean, Bethesda published, right? Bethesda published. So is Arcane under Bethesda and by proxy because Microsoft owns ZeniMax / Bethesda, then they own Arcane. Is that the way that flows? We'll make sure, but I think that's the way that's going to work. We've already got that up. Starship Troopers Extermination release date revealed. We'll take a peek at that. We got a lot of stuff going on today in the news. We got one more page. I like going at least 3 pages on our searches here, so. Like Pokemon Go might be having some issues. I'm not going to dive into that right now, though. Just from earnings and stuff. From an earnings standpoint. We've got that up already. Crusader Kings 3 Tours and Tournaments DLC gets a new video. We'll take a peek. I don't think we have that up. Promising survival action RPG Enshrouded announced. I don't think we have that up either. Assassin's Creed Mirage launches in August, claims GameStop leak. Okay. Let's stick with this. Let's stick with this. Yeah, that's going to be the play. Dude, we got a lot of articles to get through. And only half a cup of coffee. Should I refresh? I don't want to make people wait. I'll just have to sip, I guess. Starship Troopers Extermination release date revealed. Off-World Industries announced Starship Troopers Extermination with only a vague 2023 release window attached. Team has gotten more specific and revealed that the first-person shooter is coming out on May 17th in early access on PC. Still hasn't been announced for consoles. So Extermination release date is only for early access. Gross. It'll launch at $24.99, but will get more expensive as Off-World adds more to the game. Players will be able to give feedback to the game in order to guide where it goes, how its mechanics evolve. However, the studio has previously said that it will stay in early access for around a year. It will add more weapons, enemy types, bosses, class upgrades, progression achievements, vehicles, community events, encounter types, and customization options. Off-World most reiterated what it had already stated in regards to how there will be 3 unique classes, a building system that lets players construct different facilities, 5 enemy types, and large-scale battles. It also noted that the player count has been bumped up. Instead of supporting 12-player co-op, 16 players will now be able to join the bug hunt and complete objectives before extracting together. Off-World didn't release a new trailer for this announcement, but it did put out gameplay footage in February. Here, this is another issue, right? I mean, so basically what they're saying is like early access, $24.99. Yeah, early access. If you buy into it later, though, it's going to cost you more. So you need to buy into it now. It's just another one of those like ploys in the gaming industry to try and get people to buy in as soon as possible to a game that they don't really know anything about yet. Let's look at the video.
You've shown incredible resolve, Trooper, doing your part for the mobile infantry of the Terran Federation. But it's time to take the next step and join the elite in the Deep Space Vanguard. Will you rain death from above as an assault unit? Provide additional cover and suppressing fire as a heavy infantry? Or support troopers with medical aid and critical resources? Whatever your strengths, the Deep Space Vanguard is the place for you. Once your boot's on the ground, the infestation will feel relentless. We'll need you to gather resources and establish footholds so we can take back colonies for the Federation. Let's get to work, Trooper.
We need some defenses here.
We got contact! Bugs!
And remember, the only good bug is a dead bug.
Okay. So May 17th, just under 2 weeks, right? Just under 2 weeks. We've got early access for this. Just under 2 weeks. There we go. Bruh. Here. In chat if you want more on it. All right. Crusader Kings 3 Tours and Tournaments DLC gets new video explaining Grand Tours. Paradox Interactive released a new video about the upcoming Tours and Tournaments DLC for Crusader Kings 3. This time around, we see another of the titular features of the DLC, Grand Tours. Basically, you can send your ruler on a trip around his domain for a variety of purposes. You can go on a Majesty Tour to show off with your subjects, on an Intimidation Tour to scare them and earn dread, or on a Taxation Tour to bleed them dry. Check out the video below if you want to see more. See what's up here.
Hello, I'm Snap Strategy and I'm collaborating with Paradox Interactive to bring you a series of tutorials for Crusader Kings 3's expansion, tours and tournaments. Today we're learning all about Grand Tours, how to set them up, preparing for your travel and tour success. Grand Tours allow you to travel around your realm, visiting your vassals, maybe to make friends or tour around with the aim of intimidating your subjects. The choice is all yours. But once selected from the activity tab, you are met with 3 choices. A Majesty Tour as you go around showing off just how great you are, earning you extra prestige and the opinions of your vassals. A taxation tour is all about filling your treasury, gaining gold from events, and finding and demanding tax from your tax-avoiding subjects. The final is an intimidation tour, allowing you to take dreadful actions, with the goal of earning dread and striking fear into everybody, even allowing you to attempt to force vassals to leave factions if they are in one. But with your tour type now selected, you must select up to 10 vassals to visit and what exactly you will be doing there. Touring the grounds lets you explore life at their court, with many opportunities to raise the control of their counties. Or maybe you just want a hosted dinner, giving you a very personal look into their lives and opportunities to become friends. And last, we have a cultural festival, which is perfect for a large, diverse realm, with the possibility of increasing cultural acceptance as you explore their traditions. And of course, during your tour, you will be doing a lot of traveling, so hiring a caravan master can speed up your journey and make it safer. And danger can be seen at the bottom, with high, medium, and low chance of danger for each county you visit. And also, hovering over any county will give you the chance of danger and break it down. So if you are traveling through many forests, the forest guide travel option can eliminate this danger. But with all that set up, it's now time to choose an intent. Recreation to relieve stress. Lechery is perfect for
not yet, dude.
Characters.
Not yet.
Altruism sees you try and improve the
I was kind of waiting to see when you were going to be around.
Justice is all about finding.
We'll watch it after this though, man. If you're available.
And for activity options, we have the size of your entourage and how many luxuries you bring along with you. The more you bring, the better starting success chance you have.
I figured you were monster trucking people in the Prius, you know.
You will notice a tour success bar at the bottom, based off the tour type you selected at the beginning. And through events, you have the ability to increase how successful your tour was. Each level granting you more prestige, renown, vassal opinion.
I'm interested in
a level
we'll talk about it in a second.
Which grants 15% more vassal tax for 20 years. Now you begin traveling between each court, which can easily be tracked by clicking the View Travel button. When you arrive at each court, you go through many events showing you how your stay went, all the way to the conclusion. A breakdown of everything you earned along the way and any other effects that happened. And that was the Grand Tour. And in the next video, we will be taking a look at Night Accolades, so make sure you're subscribed not to miss out on that.
Okay. Cool. Crusader Kings 3 is currently available for PC, Xbox Series S, and PS5. Worth mentioning that the content for the console versions is behind by a few months, so this DLC will initially be released only for PC on May 11th. The console version will come at a later date. Tours and tournaments let your ruler tour the realm, organize and join tournaments, organize grand weddings, bestow your knights with honors, and amass new art. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. If you need more out of there here. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at this this title that Wick brought to my attention last night. 1 second. Let me get this done real quick. There we go. Perfect. All right. So check this noise out. I'm really excited. Tape to tape, man. Here, hold on. Shut your mouth. Take a look. Take a look.
Cindy! What was that? You think this is dodgeball, bud?
I think that's his dodgeball, bud?
Gander! I've seen GoPods that save more than you! Congratulations, team. You suck. I've seen better hands on a digital clock. We've had our asses hand-delivered to us all season, and for the cherry on top, you let the greasy lettuce put our asses on a bun, add some cheese, and serve it to us with French fries. Let's try using some abilities. You know, those things you learn while you're still pushing the kitchen chair around the ice? There's at least one silver line, and sucking is the first step towards not sucking. Well, I guess it's my fault for being an optimist. Let's run it again, donkeys. Big shiny!
What was that offside? What was that offside? God dang.
Maybe visit the Blade Master and trade in that twig for something a little more mature there, bud. Oh, for fuck's sake. Just bribe the damn ref. Well,
nice.
Me running. Could you be decent? Am I hallucinating? I swear. Damn it.
What the deke, dude?
Idiot. Have our knack. Maybe by the time the freeze is over and the Leafs win the cup, you might get somewhere.
Oh, bro. Yo. Yeah, so apparently this game came out yesterday, dude. How did you even find this, dude?
Get those.
How did you even find this? Yeah. So this is what it reminds me. It looks really fun. It looks like it's got some really nice mechanics behind it, but it gives me the vibe of like, it's obviously like arcade style. It's like an arcade style hockey game. It gives me vibes of something more along the lines of like an old school like Mutant League game. If you guys remember like old school like Mutant League like hockey or Mutant League football and stuff like that, those games were wild, dude. You'd be like throwing dynamite at other players and stuff like that. It was really, really crazy. But that's what this reminds. There's like all kinds of weird stuff that goes on in this game, but it looks really fun. Apparently they've got multiplayer set up for this and everything. But look, man, I love hockey, dude. And I quit playing the NHL games a long time ago because EA just sucks. And, this apparently is like roguelite, you know, it's obviously wild, like arcade style, but it looks really funny. And, I'm going to dive into this after, Shadows. So we were planning on doing Metroid Prime Remastered. I'm gonna delay that until after we finish Tears of the Kingdom now, because I really want to dive into this. The other reason for that being that it does look like there's multiplayer in this. I was looking at it last night, and tape to tape can be played online with a total of up to 4 players using Steam Remote Play or locally. Fast-paced gameplay, tight controls make for memorable matchups. Invite you to join our Discord, play with the dev team, find other players amongst the wonderful community. Roguelike campaign, also playable cooperatively with some friends, or a truly unique experience. People are liking this right now too, man. It's like 85% positive. Again, it just dropped yesterday. It's just playing through Steam Online, you know. Played like 3 hours last night. That's all it is. Steam Remote Play. It's just playing online through Steam. That's all that means.
What was that?
What was that? So, this game looks dope. Thanks, Wick. I appreciate it, buddy. I was working on some content last night, and Wick hit me up before I was passing out. I was just getting ready to get off the PC, man, and Wick hit me up with this. Dude, this looks really, really fun. What I'm interested in is like, what I would love to see. This is what I would love to see them do, man. I would love to see them hook this game up with like the club stuff, like more of a club style online setting, you know, for competitiveness, the way NHL always used to do. And I haven't played the NHL game since like the mid 2010s, you know, but that was my favorite thing about the NHL games was the club option stuff. And just the campaign in this alone looks like it's going to be hilarious and a lot of fun. But being able to like incorporate some really fun like ongoing multiplayer in this, to where like we've got a lot of people in the community that are hockey fans. I'm a huge hockey fan. And being able to like get more people into this game just in the community, like friends and stuff like that, to do like club games and stuff like that, I think would be really, really cool. So if you could get like seasons going on with this, where you have clubs built up and you face other clubs, you know, that would be really, really fun, dude. I think that would be really neat. I know it's not like legit, more realistic hockey simulator like NHL game is, or the NHL games are from EA or whatever, but this looks like a lot of fun, and I'm excited about it. So this is what we're gonna play next. I don't even know Excellent Rectangle. I don't even know. This is the only game they have on Steam. But apparently people are digging this right now.
What was that?
What was that? Closest we'll get to an NHL game on PC. Game is rad. Nice. Right, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, obviously the gameplay, it's more of an arcade style experience. It's not a hockey simulator, right? But apparently, like, and it does look like, for what it is, it gives you a pretty cool experience, yeah. Yeah, it's like 85% positive of, like, creeping up on, like, 200 reviews at this point. Yeah, 173 reviews. So that's a really good look already for just being out a day. This is awesome, dude. I'm really psyched. Yeah. I mean, I expect this is early access, right? Early access. And if it's this positive right now, then you know, obviously I don't know this developer, but I'm excited already just seeing what they're doing with this. So hopefully that's what you would want to see from a game in early access. They're getting people in to enjoy the game. They're generating some revenue to allow them to keep working on the title or anything else they might have working, in development right now, and to keep addressing things that need to be addressed for the game, right? That might be, a con that people are finding or whatever about the game. But right now, it looks like people are really, really enjoying it, and I'm excited. I'm gonna play this, dude. We're gonna play this after Shadows. And probably all the way up until, because we've only got, 8 days left till Tears? So, yeah, this will be the play next. And then we'll do Metroid Prime Remastered after Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, because what I want to do is, like, I want to get a good taste of this game and then have it as, like, a game that we can play here in the community and stuff, like on the weekends and stuff. If we get enough people that, like, are interested in playing this game on the weekends or whatever, if we have spare time, we can just get people in here and play games together or whatever. I think that would be a lot of fun. So I think the earlier I can get this game going and get it played and have it available, the more people we can get in and start playing this game from time to time. So I want to get it in sooner rather than later. 10% off right now. It's $18, but it looks really cool. So I'm gonna dive into it. We'll dive into it soon, and I'll let everybody know. Thanks, Wick. I appreciate it, buddy. It looks really, really cool, man. Looks really cool. Promising survival action RPG Enshrouded announced. Enshrouded. Today, Keen Games announced a brand new survival action RPG titled Enshrouded. The game will come in 2023 for PC via Steam in early access, promising survival action RPG gameplay for up to 16 players on the same server. While the genre is pretty crowded nowadays, the trailer showcases intriguing gameplay and a promising building system, which may help the game stand out. You can check it out below. Let's take a look at this.
From the darkness.
Look, man. I mean, I'm only one dude. I know you guys think that, like, I'm like this almighty, all-knowing, godlike entity because I'm so good at playing hard games and I come up with so much good information about games and stuff like that, but I'm just a dude. You know what I mean?
Before you were
I'm just a dude.
They pillaged the earth for a magical elixir and unleashed a ruinous blight.
I'm just a dude doing the best I can, bro.
Newborn flame. Master the staff. The bow. The shield. And the blade. For in the fog, weakness is a feast for the mighty.
I am excited. That game looks dope, dude. It looks really cool.
Cast yourself into the rude beauty of our world.
This is all pre-alpha footage, so again, down at the bottom it says not representative of final quality stuff. Keep that in mind, I think.
Seek treasures and ancient wisdom.
You can definitely see some jank in it right now, but that's probably a part of it.
For you are not alone.
Ooh,
there are
building
others
is fun.
waiting for you to raise a village or a kingdom. Craft arms worthy of legend and ignite your skills. Flameborn, call upon your allies and together take back your realm.
Okay. Okay. It's on Steam right now. So this is the same studio known for Portal Knights. Survival and exploration, ARPG combat, boss battles, crafting and base building, character customization. Okay. Okay. I'll add it on my wish list just to keep track of it. I didn't really see anything that it didn't look super enticing to me, but I don't know. It was like, again, it was super alpha stuff that we were seeing, and it might be, man, it might be. So at least to keep track of it for now, I'll just throw it on the wish list and we'll see. But if you want the link to the Steam page here, there you go. See what else we got. Assassin's Creed Mirage launches in August, claims GameStop leak. Video game leaks have only grown more and more common over the years, but Assassin's Creed Mirage may be one of the leakiest games ever. Almost every facet of it has been given away ahead.
Your veins guide
Bro,
you. For you
stop it. You knock it off. You shut up. Sorry. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Mirage may be one of the leakiest games ever. Almost every facet has been given away ahead of any official statement from Ubisoft, including its own existence. Now you can potentially add its launch date to the pile. Apparently, the latest entry in the franchise is scheduled for an August launch, which would line up with previous claims regarding Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed plans. The source of this newest leak is a self-proclaimed GameStop employee who uploaded a picture of a computer screen detailing marketing for upcoming launches. Some skepticism that this could just be a placeholder. The same person, Reddit user my name is username7, shared a second picture that lists the game's street date as December 31st, a commonly used placeholder date. Another user, 852018, who claims to have worked at GameStop before leaving last month, states that Assassin's Creed Mirage's launch date changed at least 3 times already, implying that it could just as easily happen again. Yeah. At least internally, GameStop consistently messed up quite a few release dates in their system, their item system, they say. We also had frequent marketing mistakes in the last few months. I was there. When we got marketing materials in February, they swapped Bayonetta Origins and the new Kirby games release dates. With the new Assassin's Creed still scheduled for 2023, Ubisoft will likely have an official launch date in its summer showcase, which takes place on June 12th. Again, so many showcases coming our way in about a month. Maybe it'll also have a date for the perennially delayed Skull and Bones 2. No, that game's a myth. That game's not real. I'm telling you. Now, Skull and Bones is not a real game. That game's been delayed like 7 or 8 times now. Even after having like a legit showcase for that game alone. It was an hours-long showcase. Last, September, October, something like that. And they were like, yeah, we're finally releasing it. At that point, it had like 4 or 5 delays already. That game's not going to be good. I'm just going to go ahead and say, like, Skull and Bones, if it actually ever sees the light of day as a playable game, don't pre-order that. Don't buy it on release. Just wait and see what it has to offer. There's too many red flags. That game is also included in the leaked GameStop picture, but its release window has been cut off, leaving it unclear if GameStop thinks it's still on track for 2023 or if it could be pushed to 2024. I would say at this point, just go ahead and push it out to like 2028, probably for Skull and Bones. Assassin's Creed Mirage launches for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Look, to be fair, delays are necessary. Delays are good. But there's also the flip side of that situation where delays are, they can be a huge indicator when you have delay after delay. Like Skull and Bones is on like delay number 6 or 7 at this point. It might be 6. It's for sure at least delay 6, if not 7. That is a huge indicator there is something wrong in the development process of a game. And I cannot recommend enough that people just stay away from it until it releases fully. It has time to bake and for a few days, and you get some really good reviews and ideas of what the game has to offer before you are even consider spending money on it, you know? But delays are a good thing. Developers need to be comfortable with delays. But again, on the flip side, it can be an indicator there's some things wrong too. Look, man, the Assassin's Creed stuff. There's just so many. I don't know. Apparently, this one's them trying to get back to their roots of, you know, they've had so many people that have criticized them for how big the Assassin's Creed games have gotten, like Valhalla, and how much different they are than the way the AC games started out. So they're trying to apparently get back to the roots of what AC was originally to an extent. And we'll see what Mirage has to offer. Ubisoft needs some good stuff to happen. They're not in a great position right now. For the King 2 announces Steam beta. For the King 2 has announced a pretty large Steam beta is coming very soon. Over the last 15 years or so, the gaming industry has gotten a lot more interested in allowing its fans the opportunity to be directly involved with how a game is made. A lot of games now look to the fans to tell them what kind of feedback they should implement and obtain data that can lead to a better game. Makes sense. Almost every major online game, I think that's supposed to be almost every major online game goes through this process. Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield, tons of other big games all do public tests with their fans at one point or another. While some do it closer to launch to stress test servers, such as beta, the beta slam that will be happening for Diablo 4 next weekend. Some do it closer to launch to while some do it closer to launch to stress test servers, get feedback on smaller things. Some games like Dr. Disrespect's Dead Drop bring fans in at the earliest stages to allow them the chance to help build the game as long as you buy their NFTs. I mean, I'm sorry, dude. Could we not, like, what a bad example to use. I'm sorry, dude. So ultimately, a beta, as far as I'm concerned, testing of a game by a developer is something that you want to allow people to come and get access to your game at whatever point you're trying to test that game, whether it be early or later in the development, wherever you feel like it needs to be tested and you need to get feedback. You want to get people in there and test that and give you feedback. Granted, not everybody that plays the game is going to give you feedback, and not everybody that gives you feedback is going to give you good critical feedback. But there is going to be some good stuff you get out of those testing phases. I am sorry, but doing stuff like what Midnight Society has done with Dead Drop. Midnight Society is the developer behind Dead Drop, Dr. Disrespect's development company, right? That said, anybody that buys one of our NFTs can get early access to the game. That's pretty gross, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of that. This whole Web3, blockchain, NFT, crypto-based gaming crap that's going on, it's died down a lot because I think a lot of people have finally realized how scummy it's been. That's a terrible thing. And there are so many other developers and games that could have been used as an example here. And I love how they didn't even point out the fact that you needed to buy an NFT to get a beta key for this game. All right. But that is exactly what this is. You needed to buy an NFT. There was a limited number of them to get beta keys to try this game out through its testing phases. And it's gross, dude. With all that said, For the King 2 is planned to launch sometime later this year and is hosting a beta on Steam starting May 10th at 10 a.m. PST and run until May 16th at 10 a.m. PST. The test is being used to gather community feedback and playtest data that can be implemented into the final version of the game. The beta will give players the chance to enjoy the first of 5 playable adventures in single player and multiplayer, as well as 6 character classes, with more planned for the final release. With For the King 2, we want to involve our community as much as we can, said Sterling Anderson, studio director at Iron Oak Games. This closed beta will help us understand how the game performs live with all the variables that come with a real-world player experience. We're expecting to uncover bugs and stability issues as well as receive valuable player feedback to allow us to polish and buff the game. Can't wait to hear what the community will think about For the King 2. Yeah, For the King 1 was very popular. A lot of people liked it. It was a cool experience for people to get in there and do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yo, cool. Nice, Gothic. How you doing, friendo? It's good to see you. Happy Thursday. It's great to see a beta test being held seemingly a while before the final release. Seems like the team at Iron Oak Games really wants to build for build For the King 2 with fans in mind, and a beta this far out should really help with that. We'll also give fans a chance to form their own opinions on the game before dropping any money on it, which is great. For the King 2 is slated to release later this year. All right. If you guys need any of the links or anything out of that here, there you go. Redfall is a prime example of a good Xbox Game Pass title. I disagree. While Redfall may not be the game that Arcane fans were hoping for, it's a great example of the type of titles that are perfect for Xbox Game Pass. No, it's not. No, it's not. I disagree. I'm going to read this, but I already disagree with this statement. Doing good today? Good. PlayStation has newer Plus cards that's with Store Card Now together. Confusing me. That statement's confusing me too. I'm not sure I'm following. PlayStation has newer Plus cards that's with Store Card Now together, and it's confusing me. Yeah, I don't like 2 in 1. We'll see if maybe I can look it up here in a bit or something to see what's going on. I haven't really dealt with, the PlayStation Store much with over the past few years, so I don't have experience in it really. But maybe I can figure it out. We'll have to see if we can pull it up. Redfall is a prime example of a good Xbox Game Pass title. While Redfall may not be the game, yeah, we read that. Arcane Studios' supernatural shooter. Okay, I'll just start it over here. Redfall is a prime example of a good Xbox Game Pass title. While Redfall may not be the game that Arcane fans were hoping for, it's a great example of the type of titles that are perfect for Xbox Game Pass. Arcane Studios' supernatural shooter Redfall may not be exactly what fans were hoping for from the studio. The delivered critically acclaimed system-heavy titles like Dishonored and Prey, but it still stands as a great example of the sorts of titles that are perfect for the Xbox Game Pass service. With its relatively short length, unique setting, and some genuinely enjoyable co-op gameplay. It's not what I've heard. Despite the title's numerous technical problems, Redfall is the sort of broadly accessible game Microsoft should focus on for its popular subscription service. The fact that Redfall was review bombed almost immediately upon release shows that there are still multiple issues with the game that need to be addressed. There's a difference between a game getting... So, review bombing usually refers to a game getting... at least the way I usually read into something getting review bombed is that there is maybe usually some kind of unwarranted reason for people going in and critically reviewing a game heavily initially that it might not really deserve. Now, getting heavily negative reviews because the content's trash, it performs like trash, I wouldn't call that getting bombed. I would call that well-deserved criticism in the reviews because it's not living up to expectations. So the fact that it's gotten very bad negative reviews almost immediately upon release shows that there are still multiple issues with the game that need to be addressed. There are also elements of the game that make it an ideal title for a subscription service like Xbox's Game Pass. Some gamers thrill at the thought of sinking hundreds of hours into the latest major release. For others, setting aside real-world responsibilities for days' worth of achievement hunting simply isn't a viable option. With a campaign that can be completed in roughly a dozen hours without feeling like a mad dash to the finish line, Redfall makes a perfect counterpoint to those sorts of sprawling epics. Redfall's short length makes it a great choice for a weekend binge. Great way to see some scares with friends. So I'll already tell you just off of this title of this part of the short length makes it a great choice for a weekend binge. It doesn't matter if it's an appropriate length. If the content sucks and it performs like trash, it's not the right kind of title for the platform, okay? It's a piece of trash. It doesn't matter. Redfall's a great way to see some scares with friends. It's a great example of how an Xbox Game Pass release can introduce a relatively niche genre, co-op horror shooters in this case, to a larger audience than might be possible with traditional release. While recent releases like Dead Space and Capcom's RE4 remake have helped bring the greatly underappreciated horror genre back to the forefront, horror games with a co-op element still remain few and far between. Although Redfall isn't the same sort of strictly scare-focused title as EA and Capcom's recent remakes, it still offers plenty of spine-chilling moments great for experiencing with friends. Playing through Arcane's spooky shooter with friends not only means easily startled gamers will have some moral support with them, but it can also add a new level of challenge to the game. While mowing down vampires, cultists, and contractors with friends on the lower difficulties can make for mindless fun, choosing the highest difficulty mode in Redfall will require co-op players to coordinate their actions more carefully, lest they be wiped out by the game's now much deadlier enemies. With its numerous technical issues and some occasionally questionable gameplay decisions, Redfall is far from a perfect game. For Xbox Game Pass subscribers who are willing to put up with the technical hiccups, could make for a welcome diversion into a game world they might have otherwise overlooked as a standalone release. I will say that at least what I've told people is if for these kinds of games that come out that are... I mean, I've even said this, whether it be something like Gotham Knights or something more like Redfall. If it's these games that are being reviewed very poorly, I would say it's not a great game for Game Pass. And I'll tell you why it's not a good game for Game Pass. It's because this is an Xbox first-party proprietary title. They were banking on this game being very good. They were banking on this game being at least moderately solid. And one of their, I mean, Game Pass is their golden goose, right? The big thing that Game Pass has over PS Plus is that you get day one releases, first party proprietary titles for Xbox and PC also release on their subscription service. PlayStation doesn't do that, right? That's one of the biggest differences between those subscription services. But where Xbox is suffering is that it doesn't matter if they give you day one releases. If their day one releases suck, it's not going to bring anybody new into their subscription service. If the releases that they have, their proprietary titles that they're releasing, people don't care to play them. It's not going to bring people into the subscription service or get people to renew that service if the game is a piece of trash. Now, what I will say is that I promote all the time for people, if you're interested in a game that is obviously not done very well, that has been reviewed pretty poorly across the board in the gaming industry, something like Gotham Knights or, whatever. I mean, the list goes on and on and on right now, and it's terrible. The releases, I mean, you name it. There's just a ton of them, man. But Redfall is the latest, right? Redfall is the latest in the long list of terrible games that have kind of come out from AAA developers that get hyped up and promise to deliver, and their performance sucks and the content's subpar, But what I will say is that rather than going and spending money on these games, I mean, if you are actually interested in trying them out, subscription service is the better way to get it done. But I don't see this as a prime example of a good Xbox Game Pass title. It does not do anything good for Game Pass. It is a better way to try a title like this, but it's not a prime example of a good Xbox Game Pass title. I will wholly disagree with this article right here. So I find this to be pretty off-putting statements that have been played out here in this article as a whole. And I mean, here's the thing. They want to talk about, like, I don't necessarily disagree with the fact that there are a lot of people that get pretty freaked out by horror games. And it's an easier time to get people in to play those games as a co-op experience, right? They have an easier time enjoying these experiences if they can get in and play co-op with people. But look, if you're talking about a game where the AI makes the enemies in the game seem very generic and automated and not realistic, then you're going to lose that horror vibe to it anyways. So sorry, but that doesn't play well either, right? So yeah, I agree that, like, maybe the premise around what Redfall offers as a co-op experience can be better for some of those people that have a hard time with horror games. But ultimately, what's going on with this game performance-wise and content-wise, it doesn't present a great horror vibe for people from what I understand. I haven't played it yet, but I don't really feel like I need to. I think I've gotten enough over the past few days of just reading into what it has to offer that I'm pretty versed on what it has to offer. I don't really need to try it, to be honest. And again, I don't think that this is a really good take here, man. I disagree. What I would say is that Xbox desperately needs Starfield to do well, because they have not, over the past year to year and a half, had very many good titles. I mean, the most recent of, to note would be Hi-Fi Rush, which is amazing. It's my game of the year right now. But they haven't had a whole lot. They haven't had a whole lot of first-party titles. And to be fair, they haven't had a whole lot to bring people into the subscription service outside of something like Hi-Fi Rush. I'm not saying there haven't been some other games, but it's been kind of lackluster on that front for them. So they need Starfield to do well. Xbox reportedly not involved with Redfall development. Xbox was reportedly largely hands-off with the development of Redfall. Xbox is one of the biggest companies in all of gaming, and a large part of that has come to the amount of money it has at its disposal. courtesy of parent company Microsoft. Deep pockets have allowed Xbox the ability to purchase other major video game companies such as ZeniMax, an umbrella that holds developers like Bethesda, Arcane, and many other wonderful developers. Many Xbox fans were excited to see these giants join forces, as these developers would then have access to Microsoft's resources and reap a lot of benefits. However, the first major first-party game as part of this acquisition, Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, released on PS5 first. Redfall has been a bit of a disaster. The game is filled with bugs, it is generally quite dull, and it lacks the polish one would hope from a premium Xbox release. With that said, many have looked to Xbox as the premium as they've struggled with their first-party releases in recent years. According to Windows Central, Xbox itself may not be as much of the problem as some thought. Although Redfall has likely been in development for many years, the bulk of which seemingly happened under Xbox, the platform holder was reportedly fairly hands-off with the development. Instead, Xbox Game Studios head Matt Booty focuses more on overseeing internal Xbox games like Halo, Forza, and Gears. Head of Xbox Phil Spencer oversees the entirety of the brand, which extends beyond the games being made. Beyond just the games being made. ZeniMax is responsible for managing itself, while Microsoft will assist with things like marketing and lending technology. As of right now, it remains to be seen if this will stay this way going forward. Microsoft is pushing Starfield extremely hard, which suggests it may have a more direct involvement, something that probably isn't surprising given the scope and scale of that title. Either way, the report notes that this does reflect back on Xbox as it happened under them, but it's unclear if this will change the way they all operate. I think this is kind of the case. This is kind of the case here. We've already seen where 343 has been taken off of Halo. Halo hasn't done well. And so I think this is kind of the way I think Microsoft is addressing a lot of this. And I don't think it's a bad way for them as a huge company, and Xbox is a huge company, to address a lot of these other developers that are under their umbrella, right? No matter really who it is. Especially some of these developers that have proved they've done well in the past. Why would you want to mess that up? Why would you want to get your digits in there as the parent company and mess with that process? If they've proven they can do things in the past, why would you want to mess that process up? Now, on the flip side of that, if they show you that they can't take care of business anymore, I think that you need to be prepared as that company for Microsoft to come in and start taking control. And I think that's what 343 is dealing with right now in the Halo aspect of things. So we saw recently where basically we got information stating that Microsoft and Xbox had not only done some, an amount of layoffs at the beginning of the year, and some of those absolutely came out of 343, the development studio, but they also told 343 that apparently they are not going to be the main developers of Halo moving forward, but more of like a parent role of overseeing and helping to advise on Halo moving forward. We don't know who is potentially development-wise going to be handling development of Halo moving forward, but a lot of what we read was that Microsoft's kind of done. They're not satisfied with what Halo's been doing, with what 343's been doing with Halo, and so they're ready to move on and give somebody else a try at it. And I think that it's not the worst plan in the world, but we can see how it doesn't pan out either, right? I mean, I think that it's smart to not want to mess with developers too much that have had a history of doing some decent stuff. But if they're showing you a current trend of having issues, I think that gives you reason enough to want to, as a parent company, dive in there and take control and let them know that, that things are going to have to change. So I think that's the way, at least that's the way it appears to me, that Microsoft and Xbox are kind of handling a lot of these other development companies that are under their umbrella, if you will. Yeah. That's the way it appears anyways. I don't have an inside to that, but that's at least the way it kind of comes off to me. So we'll see what happens here. I do. I mean, I would have to say that it seems like Arcane's not in a good position probably right now. You know, with probably under Bethesda and ultimately under Microsoft and Xbox. We'll see what happens there. Resident Evil 2 Remake now free on Amazon Luna, but not available in India. Here's what you can get with Amazon Prime Gaming for free instead. Amazon's cloud service, gaming service, Amazon Luna and Amazon Luna Plus has now added new titles for the month of May. These include RE2 Remake, LEGO DC Supervillains, and Tormented Souls for Luna Plus. However, India does not have access to Amazon Luna yet, due to it only being available in select countries like the US, Canada, Germany, and the UK. Prime Gaming, was introduced to India featuring PC games last year in December. Since then, Prime Gaming has brought its own catalog of games to Amazon Prime users, which gets refreshed every week. This week, you can claim titles like Wolfenstein, The New Order, The Beast Inside, Terraformers, and more. Here's all you need to know about the new titles being offered by Amazon Luna and Amazon Prime Gaming right now. The Prime Gaming in India free titles for this week are Ghost Pilots, Wolfenstein The New Order, The Beast Inside, Beholder 2, Terraformers, King of Fighters 2003, The Last Blade, Metal Slug, Twinkle Star Sprites, Metal Slug X, Ninja Masters, Magician Lord, City Legends, Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, Art of Fighting 3, Grime, SNK 40th Anniversary Collection, Cross Swords, Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition, Sengoku, Looking for Aliens, Ninja Commando, Metal Slug 3 and 4, and The Last Blade 2. They've got how to claim the free games for Amazon Prime Gaming in India. Games now available with Prime Luna and Luna Plus. All this stuff here for anybody that needs to read more about that, okay? 1 second, let me check something. Keep moving here. Okay. Cool. Warzone will get a ranked beta in Season 3 Reloaded update. Meanwhile, Modern Warfare 2 will get a new raid and multiplayer map. Activision Blizzard has announced details on Season 3 Reloaded, an update for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0, which will introduce a third raid, a new map, and a ranked mode for Warzone. Set to launch next Wednesday, May 10th, the Reloaded mid-season update introduces a number of new features for Modern Warfare 2 and its free-to-play Battle Royale counterpart Warzone 2.0. For Modern Warfare 2, Season 3 Reloaded will add the shooter's third raid, which tasks players with exploring a Soviet base, complete with old train tunnels and electrically charged waters. Additionally, a wave-based defense mission will be added to Modern Warfare 2's Special Ops mode, while a new medium-sized 6v6 map called Albaran Hatchery will be available to play in multiplayer matches. As for Warzone, the mid-season update will kick off a ranked play beta, which will track players' performance and award skill rating for killing rivals and winning, or placing highly in matches. This skill rating is paid as an entry fee to ranked games. Will divide players into 8 tiers depending on the amount of SR they accrue. Besides ranked play, Season 3 Reloaded will introduce Gulag entry kits, which will allow users an extra shot at fighting their way back into a match if they're knocked out. The beta will also add preset perk packages to buy or loot, along with a deployable buy station that lets players resupply without visiting one of Al-Mazrah's existing buy stations. Finally, Warzone 2's extraction shooter DMZ mode will be updated with a subterranean bunker complex for players to explore, although Activision Blizzard has teased that it may be inhabited by some of the mode's toughest enemies yet. While patch notes for Season 3 Reloaded have not been released yet, you can check out the wider overview at this link, okay? So I'll link this for you guys to take a look at. There you go. Brace yourself. Discord is going to make everyone pick a new username. Discord is eliminating the discriminator numbers from usernames, which is good news, but there's a downside. Discord is making changes to its usernames that will finally eliminate the 4-digit discriminators that make them so unwieldy. It's also adding a new display names option, so the way you appear to other Discord users can stay the same or be changed to just about whatever you want. To be honest, Discord has always been a bit of a pain in the butt when it comes to usernames. Every now and then, I have to provide my Discord user info to a game publisher in order to take part in a presentation on the platform. Literally every single time I have to look it up in the app. I can remember the name, sure, but the number, no chance. Complicating the situation even further, usernames are case sensitive. Yeah. Discord has come to recognize this system isn't ideal. Co-founder Stanislav Vishnevsky, dude, I butchered that. I'm so sorry, man. Explained in a blog post that Discord adopted the current system in order to ensure that nobody ended up locked out of a name they wanted to use, and that the discriminator numbers were made publicly visible so users could be sure they were chatting with a proper person when they're connected across different servers. It worked, but the kludgy approach created a technical debt that started to get seriously out of hand as Discord's user base grew. Vishnevsky detailed several scenarios in which the Discord username system causes headaches, but what it ultimately comes down to is simply that our current usernames can often be too complicated or obscure for people to remember and share easily. The numbers are stark. More than 40% of Discord users either don't know their discriminator number or don't even know what a discriminator is. Worse, nearly half of all friend requests on the platform fail to connect with the proper user. That's obviously not great for social media platform, but a fix wasn't easy to come by. Quote, we decided at one point that the most important issue to solve was case sensitive and special characters. So there could be only one Phoebe, a number 8936, instead of allowing permutations like with capital letters, variations of that note. Unfortunately, we found that nearly 1/3 of our active users would be forced to change their name just to accommodate this. Meanwhile, people from regions where non-alphanumeric characters are common in names, such as Asia, would have difficulty fully representing themselves. Adding a separate display name option to that change was also rejected as unworkable because we would have an even more complex system with both a display name and a username that still included the 4-digit discriminator. So instead, Discord has opted for a simpler approach. Everyone will be given a unique username made up of lowercase characters, numbers, plus, period, and underscore, and no discriminator number, and a separate non-unique display name that can have pretty much any kind of character, including emojis, non-Latin characters, and whatever else fits within Discord's community guidelines. Existing usernames with the discriminator will also continue to work, so you don't have to worry about losing old connections. This is what it will look like. Okay. The new system will be rolled out over the balance of the year, during which time all users will be asked to choose a new username. This will happen slowly over the course of several months, with priority based on what when you registered for Discord. Those who have been with it the longest will be given the first chances to pick a new name. We recognize this is a big change. Vishnevsky wrote, there may be hiccups with this process. It may be tough to part ways with that 0001 that's meant a lot to you over the years. We'll be doing everything we can to manage things as smoothly as possible. Specific start time for the name change process hasn't been announced, but Discord said in a detailed support article that it will begin in the coming weeks. Users will be notified when they are eligible to change their username in the Discord app. You won't be forced to change it right away, but Discord recommending choosing a new name as soon as you become eligible to do so, as that is when you will have the best chance of getting the username you want. Right. Yeah. Here you go. If you need more out of that. I doubt you do, but just in case, okay? New trailer released for retro-inspired VR game Pixel Ripped 1978. This game looks really cool. Check this out.
I'm Howard Scott Warshaw. I was an Atari game designer and programmer, and I am responsible for Atari's most famous and most infamous titles. So we're just rolling live now. Working at Atari in the early 80s was being on top of the world, and nobody saw the crash coming. To tell you the truth, it all started with Bug. Not like a software bug, an amazing programmer named Barbara Rivers, but we all knew her as Bug. She's the one who programmed Pixel Ripped. It was like she lived in the game. It's like, you know, we're trying to make a game, she's coming from out of the game to tell us what she's doing.
Now I want pizza. Yo, Wick, what was that food you put in Discord last night, by the way? What was that? You can't just put food in there and go, yo, not tell us like what it is. What was that, dude? Like some Thai food, or what is that, dude?
That was so
Looks
wild.
like Thai food, bro. That looks so good. Some jalapenos in there too. What is that? Is that a spring roll too? What is that, bro? Give me some. Give me that, dude. Give it to me. A new trailer has been released for the upcoming retro-inspired VR game Pixel Rip 1978. The new trailer features an interview with Howard Scott Warshaw, legendary Atari game creator behind classics such as Yar's Revenge and Pixel Rip 1978. Players will find themselves traveling between dimensions, hopping into a variety of gameplay styles reminiscent of multiple Atari classics. Pixel Rip 1978 is set to release this summer on the PSVR 2, Steam VR, and MetaQuest 2. Check out the new trailer, interview above, read for more below. Yeah, it looks pretty dope. We've seen it before. If you want to read more about it, I'll link it. But it looks like a really cool VR game, man. That's pretty exciting. Get $125 worth of rhythm games for $16. Grab the Meme-tastic Trombone Champ along with 6 other toe-tapping games. Guitar Hero may be done for, but rhythm games are far from being down for the count. Just take a look at the Fill the Rhythm Bundle from Humble Bundle, which offers $125 worth of rhythm games for $16. Pick up fewer games. Yeah, okay, so the way Humble works is you can pay less and get fewer games. You can pay more and get everything, but give more to the charitable organizations that are part of Humble, you know, stuff like that. So the games... So this bundle benefits First Book, a nonprofit which provides high-quality books and educational materials to children living in poverty. As always, you can allocate your payment for the bundle between the charity, the developers, and Humble itself. Minimum price here for this bundle is $9, for which you can pick up the multiplayer music creation game Disaster Band and the Rhythm Bullet Hell Project Arrhythmia. The middle tier begins at $12, which includes the oft-memed comedy rhythm game Trombone Champ, which is supposed to be very good, rhythm platformer Melodies Escape 2, and music dungeon crawler Soundfall. Finally, you get the whole set for $16. Topping off the 7-game bundle are the twin-stick shooter Beat Hazard 3 and the narrative action-adventure No Straight Roads. Yeah, Humble's a good site, dude. Love to promote Humble. Here's your link to that article, so if you're interested. Final Fantasy 16 has been banned in Saudi Arabia. Square Enix was unwilling to make required changes, rating board claims. In a post on the official Twitter account for its video game division on Wednesday, the General Commission for Audiovisual Media stated the game had not been cleared for release in the country. According to the message, the game has been banned because it contains unacceptable content that Square Enix refused to change. For Final Fantasy 16, we would like to clarify that this has not been released in the kingdom due to the publisher's unwillingness to make the necessary modifications, the tweet reads. Earlier in the week, the board's general supervisor for video games, Hatan Tawili, had tweeted about the situation without explicitly naming the game. Unfortunately, after all our attempts over the past 8 months without any success, one of the most important and biggest games of the year is on its way to being banned due to the company's complete refusal to modify the content to suit the region, he wrote. Of course, it is clear to the company what happened, but they put it in abundance without reason and refused to modify it. It's not clear exactly which content in the game caused it to be banned, but in February, on the same day a preview embargo for the game was lifted, 3 writers for Saudi website True Gaming posted vague tweets implying an upcoming game had LGBTQ+ content. If they were referring to Final Fantasy 16, this would certainly be considered a cause to ban the game in the region. The ban arrives as Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund continues to make a series of investments in the video games industry. Earlier this year, the country became Nintendo's biggest outside investor after increasing its stake in the company to 8.26%. Nintendo has previously claimed that when the PIF bought its initial stake in the company, it was unaware of the transaction, first learned about the Saudi investment from news reports. PIF, which has made a series of investments in the video games industry in recent years, is reportedly central to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's goal of making the Saudi economy less reliant on proceeds from oil. In December of 2020, the fund acquired over $3 billion worth of stock in Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard, FIFA publisher Electronic Arts, and Rockstar's parent company Take-Two. In September of 2022, also said it would invest a further $37.8 billion in games industry acquisitions, including around $13 billion to acquire a leading game publisher. Saudi Arabia officials have said the investments will help modernize the kingdom, but they have come with negative fallout due to the country's highly criticized human rights abuses. Yes, Notably, the Crown Prince has been accused by U.S. intelligence of ordering the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The country is also engaged in a controversial war in Yemen and has historically cracked down on female activists and homosexuality. Yeah, whenever we found this article this morning before even reading into it, I was pretty sure that this was going to have to do with the game, including some kind of content that went against what the country itself views to be unacceptable, and what I mean, this is something that I truly feel we need to be aware of across the gaming community in a country that is very well known to be heavily engaged in discrimination against and persecution of specific demographics of people. They are buying heavily into the gaming industry, right? They outright own SNK, right? SNK as a developer, they outright own that developer, which I don't think was actually annotated in this article. But you can see what else they've heavily invested in. You're talking about Nintendo, Activision Blizzard, Electronic Arts, Take-Two. You know, these are major companies in the industry. And I mean, I don't think it's hard for people to understand and see what has happened with media throughout history and being, you know, certain companies that they can push agenda and propaganda through them and things like that. And so you take a country that is well known for persecution, discrimination, and you see how heavily they're pushing into gaming. And I think it's absolutely vital that we remain vigilant about not letting that kind of stuff happen in the gaming industry, because ultimately it would be one of those situations where, and I'm not saying it necessarily will, but it can. We've seen it happen in media all throughout history, right? Whether it be from you know, books to newspapers to actual news outlets and TV and you know, movies and TV shows, whatever. You know, and the gaming industry is no different. I mean, it's in front of all kinds of people's eyes, and you know, allowing a country with these kinds of views to be heavily invested in the entertainment industry and this you know, world that we love of video games, to be pushing these kinds of views and thoughts onto other people, which ultimately come down to suppressing human rights and things like that, is not a good thing. So I would just I want to make sure that people just stay vigilant when things like this are happening. Try to make sure that, because it will start off small. You know, these kind of things, if like with SNK products, it would start small because they outright own that, you know what I mean? So obviously it would start small, and then it would gradually increase and become more ingrained in their products, to where they're trying to impress these kinds of views and beliefs and thoughts that really are about repressing people's rights and things of that nature. And I just want us to be very careful when it comes to this kind of thing. Hey, what's up, my friend? How are you? Happy Thursday, friendo. What's going on? So, Final Fantasy 16 is apparently not going to make its way to Saudi Arabia. And look, I'll say this, good on Square Enix. And we don't have details yet. But if this is what it comes down to, is that in Final Fantasy 16, if there happens to be some kind of LGBTQ plus content, and they were trying to get them to take it out of the game just so it would be be able to be published in their country, and Sony and Square Enix said no. Square Enix said no, we're not going to do that. And they're just dealing with the fact of it not being published. I mean, good for Square Enix. Good on them. Good on them. Game F1 23 release date confirmed as 16 June. How you been, Shay? What's going on? Yeah, I think Barrow's coming into what do we got? Like a day left? A day left before Barrow hits Warframe. Something like that. I'm gonna have to log in there tomorrow and take a look. Working, losing sleep, enjoying Deviri's Incarnon weapons. Nice. So at least that side of things appears to be turning out all right. Yeah. Good. What? Oh, sorry, you're not getting any sleep. F1 23 release date confirmed as 16 June. What all true F1 fans know is that 50% of the fun is the on-track action, and the other 50% is the petty squabbling between drivers who have just touched the wheels at 180 miles per hour. In fact, after a few processional races this season, Max Verstappen called George Russell a princess. The split might be closer to 30-70. That's why you'll be pleased to hear that F1 23, arriving 16 June on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, reintroduces Breaking Point, the fabulously melodramatic story mode that first appeared in 2021 version of the game. This time, the plot introduces an entirely new team, Conersport, presumably to allow for the sort of story shenanigans that would never be signed off by a multi-million-dollar sports team with sponsors to keep happy. The hero from last time, Aiden Jackson, returns as he does his perfectly punchable nemesis, Devin Butler. This time, they're joined by Butler's sister, Callie Mayer, an F2 champion looking for a place in the F1 squad, introducing fiddly family politics into the sporting action. How easy is it to hold a game controller and a bag of popcorn at the same time? While Breaking Point 2 will naturally be getting the most attention, there will be tweaks and updates elsewhere. The brand new Las Vegas track, playable months before the actual race, will be joined by the Qatari Losail circuit, which missed the cut in the COVID disrupted 2021 game. There are physics updates promised and steps toward an iRacing-inspired safety rating system that should minimize first corner chaos in online races. I'll have a pretzel, dude. Thanks, man. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So there's also F1 World Mode, which allows you to construct a car and race team for online competition by opening packs, either earned in-game or paid for with cash. It's F1's version of the FIFA Ultimate Team-style progression system. Ugh. If that game is anything to go by, a serious threat to all of our pocket money. Yeah, gross, dude. Finally, there's the addition of community-requested features, including the much-anticipated introduction of red flag stoppages during races. With all the tactical possibilities they entail, proof that F1 diehards remain the only racing game fan base excited by the prospect of not driving. All right, so 16 June for all the F1 gaming fans out there. All right, if you need more, I'll link it for you. Oh, yeah. Lack of sleep from the new puppy. That one's self-inflicted. Yeah, it'll be worth. It'll be worth. All right, man. Prime members can play Fortnite and rotating selection of games every month at no additional cost. In just 6 years, Fortnite, yeah, we know how big Fortnite is, man. Amazon and Epic just made Fortnite available to players on Amazon's cloud gaming service, Luna, in the US, Canada, Germany, and UK. Prime members can start playing the game today as part of their Prime membership, and all other customers can play with an existing Luna Plus subscription or by signing up for a free 7-day trial of Luna Plus. Fortnite is the latest addition to the Prime membership. Prime members enjoy savings, convenience, and entertainment all in a single membership. With Luna, customers can play any Fortnite game mode like Battle Royale or Creative on devices they already own, including Amazon's Fire TV, select smart TVs, and streaming media players, a variety of tablets and laptops, including PCs, MacBooks, and Chromebooks, and via browser on iPhone and Android mobile devices. They have a link for a list of compatible devices. I'll link this for you guys so you can take a look if you need. Because Luna streams games via the cloud, it works well on most compatible devices with a stable internet connection. Amazon recommends an internet speed of at least a sustained 10 megabits per second for the best gaming experience, which is necessary for playing Fortnite on Amazon Luna. Customers can also participate in Fortnite seasonal events, play islands developed with the recently unannounced Unreal editor for Fortnite, and link their existing Epic account for progress their battle pass. In addition to Fortnite, Amazon added the following games to Luna Plus library in May: Tormented Souls, Retro Classics, Breakthrough, Retro Classics, Express Raider, Retro Classics, Super Real Darwin, and Retro Classics Wizard Fire. Through May, Prime members can also play 4 games as part of the Prime Gaming offer at no additional cost: Lego DC Supervillains, Resident Evil 2 Overcooked, and Time on Frog Island. You can get a 7-day free trial for Luna Plus. There's things like that. They talk about a few other things about peripherals for the Luna, things of that nature down at the bottom if you want to take a look. This would probably indicate to me that there is a good chance, at least, if you're not familiar with Prime Gaming, usually whenever they collaborate on this kind of stuff, Amazon will do a lot of in-game monthly or like bi-weekly in-game items. And they do a ton of it. So if you're a Prime Gaming, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, then you get Prime Gaming along with that, and you'll get in-game items for a lot of other games. Warframe, Lost Ark, there's League of Legends, there's all kinds of stuff, you know. So now that they've actually got Fortnite as part of Luna, I don't know if they already had the ability to get any kind of additional stuff through Prime Gaming for Fortnite, but if they didn't, there's a good chance they will now. Just in-game items, cosmetics, things of that nature, right? There you go, if you need the link. Enshrouded, officially revealed by Keen Games. We watched this, didn't we? Am I tripping? Keen Games surprised everyone by revealing the latest project they've been working on. Enshrouded is a new action RPG featuring a unique fog mechanic called the Shroud. The Shroud's fog contains more aggressive enemies, but rewards players with a higher chance of dropping better items. Enshrouded heads to early access on Steam in 2023. Am I tripping, dude? We watched a lot of trailers this morning. I'm pretty sure we watched this. But, I don't know, just in case.
Let the fire in your veins guide you.
Yeah.
For you shall have nothing else to survive.
Yeah, we absolutely watched this. Yeah, look, dude, I'm not going to watch it again. I don't know how I got this up twice, but Enshrouded is set in a decaying world of magic and beauty, ruined by a pestilence unleashed from the depths of the earth. Roaming and ravaging the land are the mutated remnants of its fallen people, driven to madness and controlled by the fog. But above the mist and hidden deep in ancient temples, warriors from a forgotten age sleep, dreamless and impervious to time. Players awaken as Flameborn, the last hope of an ancient civilization, guided by nothing but a latent arcane power in their veins. They must hunt, gather, and craft to unleash their power and untangle the secrets of a ruined realm of epic beauty. To unlock truth, treasure, and wisdom, player must venture into the lush forests, unyielding deserts, deep fissures, and lost dungeons of the land. Survival, exploration, ARPG combat, boss battles, crafting, base building, character customization, all that stuff. We already took a look at it, dude. I don't know how I got it in here twice, but there you go. It's in there again. League of Legends spinoff Convergence will release this month. The latest trailer shows Arcane star Jinx will make an appearance. The release date for Convergence, the League of Legends story, has been confirmed, with the time-bending platformer set to launch later this month. Following its announcement in 2021, Convergence will launch on May 23rd for Nintendo Switch, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation platforms. As for what it's about, the game will follow League of Legends champion Echo through the city of Zaun, which was the setting of Netflix's 2021 animation Arcane. Dude, there's supposed to be another season of this coming out, and this show was so dope. If you have not watched Arcane, even if you're not a League of Legends fan, I think you're still going to really like it. I'm not a League of Legends fan. This show blew me away, dude. Animation's great. Voice acting's awesome. The narrative, like the writing and everything is fantastic. The music's dope. The show through and through is amazing. The game will be a platformer with an emphasis on parkour and echoes signature ability, just like in League of Legends. The hero is equipped with a device that allows him to manipulate time. Developed by Double Stallion Games, Convergence, a League of Legends story, is a 2D action platformer with an incredible art style that focuses on tight dynamic combat and unique exploration opportunities afforded by Echo's ability to travel in space and time. Latest trailer is right here. Let's take a look. Trailer. What's a trailer, dude?
I'm not here to hurt you. I'm you. From the future. I'm here to investigate something in the past.
So Zahn is in trouble right now?
If you would just listen, we'll be keeping the city safe from a devastating future.
Well,
Peter, what's up, buddy?
Boy who shattered.
We're good, man. I'm good, at least. What's going on, man? How are you?
I don't know what happens in the future, but it's not up to you to fix the world all by yourself.
He's been coming back to the past over and over again, trying to fix something in our timeline.
We've all got him, Echo. The first fight you have to beat is with yourself. This isn't over. Not yet.
Cool. Till Wednesday, we said, what's up, Gothic? What's up, Wednesday? Happy Thursday, Wednesday.
I'm trying to save both of our cities from a disastrous fate.
Convergence, a League of Legends story. May 23rd. Cool. If you need more, I'll link it for you. Thanks, Gothic. Here you go. This is the last one I have for today. Shout out to our buddy Casual Gamer. He made me aware of this yesterday. I don't really remember ever hearing anything about this, to be honest, either. And I don't know that this is a developer that I'm familiar with at all. I don't know if they've really done anything else, but we'll check into it real quick. But this is the last article I have, so if anybody has anything else to add to the video gaming news segment for today, let me know. We'll address it before we move on and get into day 3 of Shadows over Loathing. All right. Upcoming MMO Chrono Odyssey gets a super impressive first gameplay trailer. MMO was first announced back in 2020, so like 3 years ago, but things have been quiet since then. It's possible I heard about this back then and I've just kind of brain dumped it just because I haven't heard anything else. I don't know, but I don't recall it. The first gameplay trailer for upcoming MMO Chrono Odyssey shows off an impressive first look at how the game will play. Again, shout out to Casual Gamer for bringing this to my attention yesterday. Earlier today, May 3rd, InPixel showed off some gameplay for Chrono Odyssey. It's MMO that was first announced in 2020 for release on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Gameplay looks to be real-time action combat rather than the kind of thing you find in games like Final Fantasy XIV or World of Warcraft, where inputs normally have delayed reactions. Trailer mostly focuses on a warrior with a sword and shield setup simply called the Swordsman. Also gives a look at rangers, berserkers, and sorcerers, so it looks like there will be plenty of styles to choose from. Let's take a look at this. Bruh. Play. How about a reload? How about that? Now what? Now what? There we go. Jeez, dude. This video player. InPixel. Anybody know anything about InPixel? We'll look them up in a second. But I can't recall InPixel. doing anything I'm familiar with. Dang, that looks good, dude. Jesus. Yeah, Peter. Yeah. It's like, oh, God. Jeez, that looks great, man. Zowie, dude. Man, that looks gnarly. Look at that big boy. The headset, yeah. Probably takes a lot to run it. I mean, maybe, dude. Maybe. Look, dude. I mean, I really, you know, yeah, I would say it probably takes a little bit of some hardware to run this, you know. It probably takes a little bit of hardware to run this. But I think that this is what we talk about a lot. I mean, you get a developer that knows what they're doing, how to really utilize hardware and storage space in an efficient manner, like programmers that are really, really good at what they do, you know what I mean? Then it's not a big deal. Hardware today is really good, you know what I mean? It's a matter of getting programmers that know what the crap they're doing, man. There are a lot of really good games today that play really well, that look really good. Then there's a lot that don't look all that great. Redfall, that play like crap. You know what I mean? And it's because, I mean, apparently they just don't have programmers that know what the crap they're doing, man. Shay, this is, here, I'll show you in just a second. Chrono Odyssey is what this is called, I think. Chrono Odyssey. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, the development process is also an amount of a game like this is obviously going to take a lot more. It's going to be a lot more hardware intensive than something like Minecraft. You know what I mean? Obviously. Chrono Odyssey, right? So, in-pixel Gameplex, it's on Steam. Let me see if I can pull it up on Steam. We'll pull up their website too. So, excuse me. A game like this, nobody's going to contest the idea or can really argue the fact that a game that looks like this is going to be much more hardware intensive than something, say, like, you know, Minecraft or Vampire Survivors. You know what I mean? But there definitely is something to be said about the fact of, like, having people develop a game, working on a game that know what the crap they're doing and can really make hardware, you know, run the game efficiently and make the most use out of hardware and storage space and RAM and things like that. You know what I mean? Like all the hardware across the board. There's a huge difference. And you can tell about every single time you get into playing a game. You get into playing a game right off the bat. And I'll tell you, like, I'll give you an example. Like 2018's God of War, they ported that over to PC. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal on PC on day one. It felt so flipping good. And it felt like it was made for PC. You know, obviously the game had already been out for 3 years, but that game came out on PC. It felt like it was made for PC. Everything about it. I loved it. And I feel like it's a rarity nowadays. And that game looks great too. As opposed to like a game that we just got released. I mean, you could, dude. We could just list off games all day long that have been released at the beginning of this year that are just absolute trash cans, bunch of dumpster fires. You know what I mean? But the latest, obviously, is Redfall or Jedi Survivor, whatever. You know, either one of those. Take either one of those. That are just performing suboptimally, which we don't know how this is going to perform or anything right now, right? But it looks amazing, that's for sure. I have no idea right now, Peter. I have no clue right now. We're going to look into it. We'll look into it. Oh, really, Gothic? Yeah. I haven't played that one yet, so I don't even know. But, I mean, obviously, you're not wrong, Peter. I mean, the testing, in my opinion, it seems like testing is just not being done by a lot of developers anymore. At least not nearly to the extent it should be. That's for sure. There's still good developers out there, you know, and let's just, you know, but there are a lot that don't seem like they're doing their job. That's for sure. Let's pull up, let's read the rest of this and we'll dig into like this developer and a little bit more about the game. Over the, on the PlayStation blog, the game's producer Samuel Seo went into more detail about the game, talking about its open world setting, combat, and more. Quote, step into the breathtaking world of Cetera, an open world wilderness that transports you to a world that feels ever changing, said Seo. Immerse yourself in the stunning scenery which performs with each passing season with a realism that captures the essence of a living and breathing environment. In terms of combat, you'll have to balance attacking, defending, dodging, and switching up multiple weapons, which you can do in real time to gain the upper hand in battle. It's not clear if it's meant to be Soulsian in any way, though Seo does note that the enemy's attack patterns are as varied as they are deadly, adding an extra layer of tension to each encounter. Obviously, the game is an MMO, and the trailer shows some big-looking battles with a large number of players facing off against massive monsters. Chrono Odyssey doesn't currently have a release date, but will be available on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Let's look up some of their websites and stuff. So, Chrono Odyssey right there. I think they've got a Steam page too. Hold on. Let's pull this up. Wish they would bring back Fear.
Darkness.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's on Steam yet. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's on Steam yet. I would still recommend people just go play the old Fear games. The old Fear games are dope. I don't think 3 is quite as nice as like the first and second one, but they're still cool. They don't necessarily hold up to stuff like maybe BioShock or Dead Space, but they're still very cool games. Game trailer, first trailer. Let's look at the overview. The Void Guardians. Yo, shut up, dude. Those who protect Cetera under the guidance of the Great Ones. The Void, otherworldly invaders that reject the existence of life itself. The broken, those whose bodies and minds have succumbed to the Void contamination. Outcasts, those who are more threatening to their for their humanity. World movers, those who had the strength to survive and lay roots in Cetera. Artifact that can manipulate space-time. Concept art. We got all kinds of stuff on here already, dude. What is this? Guardians. Okay, hold on. They don't have a ton on here right now, but in Pixel, dude. This is the developer. Grand Saga. Do you guys know what Grand Saga is? Multi-platform MMORPG? What is Grand Saga, dude? I think Chrono Odyssey is the other one they're promoting. Game Changer? This is a mobile game. Looks like this is a mobile game. Grand Saga, huh? So this looks dope, though. This looks incredible. I don't really know anything about NPixel. I'm not going to be able to gather much off of this website apparently either, so. Here's that website for Chrono Odyssey though. Take a look if you want. That looks pretty impressive, man. Again, I mean, this is it's always one of those things where we talk about, like, you know, developers are always going to show you what they want you to see, and I think most people that are gamers nowadays, we're all a bit hesitant and sketched out about, you know, anything a developer is going to be bringing to the table. If we're not familiar with that developer, or if that developer has shown us a history of not bringing good content to the table, as opposed to, you know, maybe a developer that we are familiar with and has done a pretty solid job over the past of bringing us quality content, you know. So this looks dope. This game looks fantastic. But I don't really know anything about NPixel. Apparently they've done one other mobile game. We'll keep track, though. We'll keep track. This looks incredible. This looks incredible. I mean, we'll definitely be keeping track of this for sure. Cool. Yo, big shout out to again, Casual for bringing this to my attention, to our attention. Yeah. That's the jam, dude. That's the news for today. That's the news. Let's get some jams going here, and we'll segue out of this. Let's go. Cool. Happy Thursday, man. I hope that everybody's doing well. We're gonna move on and go play day 3 of Shadows Over Loathing. And again, I've decided to do a little bit of a schedule change, so it's random mode time, by the way. Get them in there, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Random mode. Free sub. Try to get a free sub. Oh, man. So we're going to play Tape to Tape next. We're going to play Tape to Tape before we dive into Tears of the Kingdom, which will start in like 8 days. So we'll finish Shadows Over Loathing, then we'll play Tape to Tape. Shout out to our buddy, Mod, Resident Troll Lord, and Smoothie Slinger, you know, Wick, for showing me Tape to Tape. That game looks really cool. Early access game that just came out yesterday, and it's like an arcade style hockey game. It looks really, really cool. Roguelike action and multiplayer in it too. So we'll play that for a little bit before we hit Tears of the Kingdom, and then we'll do Metroid Prime Remastered. We'll run into that after Tears of the Kingdom. That'll be the play, okay? But I don't know if anybody's checking out this content or any of our other, you know, clips that come out of the news segments, any of the other news segments themselves, gameplay episodes of playthroughs we've done, clips out of the gameplay stuff, funny stuff that happens, whatever, out there on the Twitch channel or YouTube, and you're enjoying it, then I would prompt you to come hang out with us, man. We go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day. We've got an amazing community of people here. We enjoy video games very much. We enjoy each other's company. We have a great time. And we would like to have more like-minded individuals come be a part of what we do here. So, I don't know. Other than that, man, you guys stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another. And we will catch everybody tomorrow for May 5th's edition of Video Gaming News. And it'll either be more Shadows Over Loathing or Tape to Tape. Cool?